tells me that her most memorable news was being given an opportunity to talk about wealth creation, and I see now that it was not the final new beginning because she's extremely passionate about wealth creation. Congratulations. Our final speech is a bit of a change from the norm because this speech is a project that is required to evaluate. So we will have both an evaluation of a project and the delivery of a speech that will get evaluated. If you look at your program, you will note that there are only two designated evaluations, the evaluation of the first speech and the evaluation of the third speech. And the reason for that is because the second speech will be evaluated by Peter Mutua as he delivers his project. So I would like, before Peter comes up and before I introduce him, to ask his evaluator, Nelly Kiga, to let us know what the requirements of the project are.
Peter, in his communication journey, has achieved competent communicator. He's also achieved the next step, which is advanced communicator bronze, and now he's at advanced communicator silver. And as I can see, this is the first project in this advanced communication series, which is speeches by management. The project is titled Appraise with Praise, and the objectives of this project is to give a speech demonstrating the importance of how you personally use feedback techniques in your daily life. It's also to use constructive evaluation to help someone improve their performance, and is to offer support to empower them to change. He's got 5 to 7 minutes, and as you've been told, the scenario that Peter has chosen is giving feedback to Margaret Njoroge's speech. Yeah, that's about it. He has 5 to 7 minutes to deliver his speech.
Let us welcome the almost retired president.
We need to talk. And suddenly all the men were glaring at me in the room. All men have heard those words spoken to them, and they never bode well. I've never quite understood why that is. And it took me a year to convince the Vice President of Education never to start a conversation with me with those words that we need to talk. And the reason the words are painful is because the process of evaluation is often a very difficult process to endure as a speaker, as a manager, as a worker, and as a leader. Evaluation is difficult, and when it comes to time for appraisals, even in the company settings, that is a time of a lot of nervousness and a lot of tension, even within the office environment. Because no one looks forward to evaluations as they have been done so far. And one of the things I have learned about Toastmasters, within Toastmasters, by practicing, is how to give an evaluation that both points out the things that need to improve, but also create a positive environment in which people can grow and live having heard things which are positive about them and feel encouraged to do something about the things they need to improve. And one of the most effective tools that I have found within Toastmasters is the sandwich approach. The sandwich approach encourages you to take something positive about the individual, speak about that, things that have gone particularly well. And nobody is all bad. Nobody is evil, pure evil. No, there's something good about everyone. And once you become attentive as a leader to those things that are positive in the person that you are praising and bring those out, then it becomes possible for you to now bring in the meat element, because everybody also needs to improve. When you bring in the things that need to improve, and this is often called the citrus in the juice. You see, when you have juice that has no citrus in it in terms of having that little sour taste, even orange juice has a little sour taste, it has a kick. If it was just syrup, it would be tasteless. And that's why you don't drink sugared water. by itself. There's something that you need to put in that has a little bit of acid, and that is what helps you to improve. That is what gives it a flavor. And having said that, then bring up something positive about the individual to close the appraisal. Because that is also critical. Because every appraisal, every evaluation must give someone with a positive feeling about life and about, most important, about themselves. And by applying that in Toastmasters and in my own life, I have found leadership a pleasant undertaking, because every time we meet with individuals, we speak, we always leave on a very positive note, but having achieved the purposes of evaluations themselves. Margaret, you are now a CC. But it has been a very long journey. And I remember when I first met Margaret, and I joined the Toastmasters in 2010. Margaret always appeared to me as a little bit timid, a little bit hesitant at the lectern. She wouldn't speak loudly and clearly, and she always seemed a little intimidated by the audience, and she'd come and speak briefly and free. And I did not know why Margaret was in that condition. But as I got to know Margaret as the Vice President of Membership, which she has been from the inception of the Toastmasters Club, I have seen tremendous growth in the manner in which you speak, in your diction, in your volume, your ability to speak up and speak up and speak up with authority. And it has been exciting to watch you grow this far. There have been a few challenges, Margaret, and we had this challenge last year. When we spoke with Margaret, Margaret was at CC7. At a time like this last year, was it CC7 or CC9? 7. And we needed Margaret to complete her 10 speeches because Nairobi Toastmasters was on the brink of achieving the President's Distinguished Award. And we were depending on Margaret and one other individual. And we had 7 goals. 7! We needed one more goal. 2 individuals to perform their tasks. And I tell you, June the 30th, you know, I was the Vice President of Education, and I really was tempted to fake the performance of those 2 members to achieve that award, and then tell them that we can achieve this thing a little bit later. But at the last possible moment, it was impossible to launch those 2 for that award. And I remember it was a very difficult process, trying to persuade you, and I know you were busy, and it was really disappointing. But we got together a plan with Margaret as to how she was going to improve her ability to speak and achieve those awards. And we worked on it throughout this year. And one of the things that excited me most, Margaret, is the sacrifice that you made today. Because today was the last possible day Margaret could have delivered this speech to do her CC10 and allow us to achieve that award. And Margaret had a board meeting all day long. Margaret works in Lavington. And Margaret decided that she's going to make that sacrifice and drive all the way from Lavington to here, park her car at United Kenya Club, and run all the way here to deliver her speech. And that for me showed commitment. I am honored to know a person like you. I am honored that a person like you is in Nairobi Toastmasters Club, and it is a pleasure to have you with us. But Margaret, you need to grow. The Competent Communicator Manual is just the beginning of many, many, many manuals. There are 15 more manuals available for Toastmasters to develop the public speaking skills. You are an excellent speaker. Today you've come and delivered a speech that was passionate within the area that you have chosen. You chose something about money which everybody could relate to. Of course they were inspired to go and improve their lives. I saw it myself. Some women wanted to walk out like you. You wanted to go and start immediately, did you know? And yes, you inspired the audience. Yes, you did what you were supposed to have done. But Margaret, this is where you are supposed to have been last. So what do you need to do? I would think that we need to concentrate on the A you have and create an environment which is close to you where you can drive and easily access the resources you need with regard to delivering this. I would want you to participate more in meetings like this where you are going to deliver your meetings. But I would like you, most of you, to stay fired up and ready to go, because you've done an excellent job, and congratulations on achieving a competent communicator, Madam Toastmaster.